Donald Trump's presidential campaign was punctuated by a bold promise: mass deportations of undocumented immigrants. He declared that it wouldn't cost much, essentially dismissing the need for a detailed cost analysis. This stance raised eyebrows and sparked concern amongst economists and immigration experts alike. The lack of a clear price tag left many wondering about the true financial implications of such a massive undertaking. Trump's rhetoric suggested a swift and efficient process, almost as if deportations could be carried out without significant financial burden. This simplistic view ignored the complex legal and logistical realities of removing millions of people from the country. The sheer scale of the proposed operation presented a multitude of potential costs that couldn't be ignored. The absence of a concrete plan only fueled the anxieties surrounding the potential economic fallout. Furthermore, the disregard for cost analysis seemed to downplay the human element of the situation. Deportations involve families, communities, and individuals whose lives would be drastically affected. Reducing this complex issue to a simple matter of cost overlooked the profound social and economic consequences. The cavalier attitude towards the financial aspects of the plan raised questions about the administration's commitment to considering the full scope of the issue. Finally, the lack of transparency surrounding the financial aspects of the deportation plan raised concerns about accountability. Without a clear understanding of the potential costs, it would be difficult to hold the administration accountable for its spending. This lack of clarity also made it challenging for the public to engage in informed discussions about the feasibility and desirability of mass deportations. The absence of a price tag essentially amounted to a blank check, leaving many uneasy about the potential economic burden. Expert analyses paint a drastically different picture than Trump's assertion. The American Immigration Council, for example, estimates the cost of deporting millions of undocumented immigrants to be in the hundreds of billions of dollars. This figure takes into account the various stages of the deportation process, from apprehension to detention to transportation. The costs associated with each step quickly accumulate, resulting in a staggering overall price tag. These estimates include the expansion of immigration enforcement agencies, the construction of additional detention facilities, and the increased workload on immigration courts. The sheer number of individuals targeted for deportation would necessitate a significant investment in resources. This financial burden would fall on taxpayers, adding to the already substantial national debt. The economic implications of such a massive expenditure are far-reaching and deserve careful consideration. Moreover, the indirect costs of mass deportations, such as the loss of labor and the disruption of families and communities, are difficult to quantify but equally significant. Undocumented immigrants contribute to the U.S. economy in various sectors, and their removal would have a ripple effect across industries. The loss of their economic contributions would be felt in numerous ways, further exacerbating the financial burden of the deportations themselves. Additionally, the legal challenges and appeals processes associated with deportations would add further costs. Many individuals facing deportation would likely seek legal representation, further straining the already overburdened immigration court system. The legal battles could drag on for years, adding to the overall expense and prolonging the uncertainty for those involved. The complexity of the legal system adds another layer of cost to the already expensive process. The Center for Migration Studies of New York estimates a potential reduction in GDP of over $400 billion due to mass deportations. This significant economic downturn would be a direct result of the loss of labor and the disruption of various industries. Undocumented immigrants play a vital role in many sectors, including agriculture, construction, and hospitality. Their removal would create labor shortages, impacting productivity and economic output. The ripple effect of these labor shortages would extend beyond the immediate industries affected. Reduced consumer spending, decreased tax revenue, and increased social service costs would further strain the economy. The cumulative effect of these factors could lead to a significant recession, impacting all Americans. The economic consequences of mass deportations would be far-reaching and devastating. Furthermore, the social costs of mass deportations are difficult to quantify, but equally significant. The separation of families, the disruption of communities, and the increased fear and anxiety among immigrant populations would have long-lasting negative impacts. These social costs would manifest in various ways, including increased mental health issues, decreased educational attainment, and reduced social cohesion. Finally, the potential brain drain resulting from mass deportations would further weaken the U.S. economy. Many undocumented immigrants are highly skilled and educated individuals who contribute to innovation and entrepreneurship. Their removal would deprive the U.S. of valuable talent and hinder economic growth. The long-term consequences of this brain drain would be detrimental to the nation's competitiveness and prosperity. The infrastructure of deportation. Process and create further legal challenges. Feasibility versus reality, a deportation dream deferred. The sheer magnitude of the logistical and financial challenges raises serious questions about the feasibility of implementing mass deportations. Even with a significant investment of resources, the practical obstacles are immense. The complexity of the process, combined with the potential for legal challenges and resistance from immigrant communities, makes the prospect of mass deportations highly unlikely. The reality of the situation falls far short of the rhetoric. The economic consequences of mass deportations would be devastating, impacting not only undocumented immigrants, but the entire U.S. economy. The loss of labor, the reduction in GDP, and the increased social service costs would create a significant financial burden on taxpayers. The long-term consequences of such a drastic policy shift would be far-reaching and detrimental to the nation's prosperity. The potential for economic harm outweighs any perceived benefits. Moreover, the social and human costs of mass deportations cannot be ignored. The separation of families, the disruption of communities, and the increased fear and anxiety among immigrant populations would have long-lasting negative impacts. The ethical implications of uprooting millions of people from their homes and communities are profound. The human cost of such a policy is simply too high. Finally, the legal and constitutional challenges to mass deportations are significant. The due process rights of individuals facing deportation must be respected, and the government must adhere to established legal procedures. The potential for legal challenges and court battles would further complicate the process and add to the overall cost. The legal framework surrounding immigration must be considered and respected. Please share, like, and subscribe, and see you on the next video.